with any of the hypermobility syndromes can affect daily life, tasks that many people can take for granted can be hard to manage. By asking our peers the same questions that we sent to members of the HMSA who are living with hypermobility syndromes, this video briefly explores some of those struggles. What is the hardest part or biggest stress of your average day?
I would say that the hardest part of my day is probably just getting out of bed, getting on a bus and actually getting to work on time.
I don't really have hard days or stressful days. They can be annoying, but most of the time it's every day's fine probably for me.
Has to be the school run. I can't stand for long periods of time, so the kids come out to meet me in my car. Other spaces are taken up by people who live less than 5 minutes walk away from the school. It frustrates me no end, and makes me wish these people saw how lucky they are being able to walk their kids to and from school and get some fresh air. The hardest part of my day is pacing, trying to keep active when I feel crap, and not do too much when I feel good. Getting up is the hardest part of my day mostly. Every day I wake up is different. Sometimes I wake up with pain everywhere. Sometimes I wake up and I'm okay until I try to stand up and move.
How often do you cook a homemade dinner from scratch? What can potentially stop you from doing so?
I cook homemade dinner from scratch quite often. Probably the only thing that would stop me would be if I didn't have enough time, if I had somewhere to go, or if I was just being lazy.
I would say I aim to cook a home-cooked meal, maybe twice a week. I'd say more likely I do it once a week, and it's mainly just because I'm so tired when I get in from work, or I've got something else on that evening and dinner does not take priority.
I love to cook, but pain and fatigue are holding me back from being able to do this. I haven't made a dinner from scratch for a few months. Our meals now generally always contain a pre-prepared element, usually the vegetables or rice, etc. I miss cooking and baking for my family. I cook fresh meals most nights, but I'm supported by a carer in doing so. I am involved, and I do the bits I can. Without that support, it just wouldn't physically be possible. I eat fresh meals most nights, cooked by my mum or sister. If I do cook, it's usually something very quick and simple, so I don't have too many heavy pans to lift or dishes to wash, as I'm usually in a lot of pain.
What are your hobbies? Are you ever unable to do them? For what reasons?
I don't really have many hobbies. I enjoy watching films, playing games and reading, but there's not really anything that would stop me doing any of those.
I play violin, and I like walking quite a lot. I'm not unable to do them. The only time I'd probably not be able to do them is if I'm feeling unwell.
I love to write. I used to handwrite everything, and when I was 18 it became increasingly difficult to hold a pen, and that broke my heart. However, I type everything now, and find that is a lot less stressful. I go to a local writing group, but can't always participate in certain workshops as they require writing. I used to enjoy cross-stitch and beadwork. I had to give these up due to the increasing pain in my hands. Now I enjoy reading when able and gaming. I try to walk my dogs, but the best I can manage on my good days is to drive them to the field I used to walk to. I let them off the lead, walk a short distance to a tree. Here I sit down while the dogs run around. I love to do this as I can enjoy watching them play, but I miss being able to go rambling with them like I used to.
When was the last time that you had to visit A&E?
Last time I was in A&E was when I was about 2 years old. After I fell down the stairs, I was sent home the next day. It was fine.
The last time I went to A&E was in first year of uni, so 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, because I got hit in the head with a glass in Freshers Week in a nightclub.
A few months ago, for a broken ankle, I can usually self-manage for dislocations and subluxes. 2 weeks ago, I dislocated my knee, fell over and banged my head. Only a few months ago I had a POTS attack, they think. My heart rate was over 120 at rest.
What's the last thing you've struggled with?
The last thing that I've struggled with would probably be...
The last thing I struggled with was probably an essay for a piece of coursework I had to do. Luckily I'd never really had to struggle with anything physical.
The last thing I struggled with was lifting a cup of juice to drink earlier this evening. Being able to bathe, wash and dry my hair and put my makeup on. These days I'm more often seen with no makeup and messy hair as I cannot manage to look after myself properly. Even just holding a hairdryer hurts. It annoys me and upsets me when I see myself looking like this, but I also know that the ability and energy to change it are lacking. Other people's ignorance. Some days I'm on crutches, others in a wheelchair, and on some good days I have no aids at all, and people see me on all of those days and seem to think I'm making everything up. I've been questioned numerous times when parking in a disabled bay when I've had no walking aids but been in agony. I really wish people wouldn't make assumptions.
We hope this video has helped highlight some of the normal aspects of life that can become difficult for those living with any of the hypermobility syndromes. If you need advice on how to manage your condition or how to help a family member or friend, then get in contact with the HMSA. You can find links in the video description.